Okay, so daily chart review for the premium section of Guard, the Guard Trading Forum. Let's just look at some key levels. The time is 9:15 in the evening on the 24th of November. Let's just look at some key levels that will still, without question, be relevant for the morning, and we can look again to see how price action plays out tomorrow and how it's reacted to some of the key channels that are still in play today. All right, so FTSE 1 hour chart. Let's keep these short and sweet. FTSE 1 hour chart. As you can see, clear bull channel. 200 MA in blue, 50 in black. Cut the support in half with the 100, the dotted line grey. Okay, so we've got the 1 hour bull channel. It's been intact fundamentally from here, but in my opinion, confirmed from this move and retesting here. So you're looking around the 20th of October, give or take this area. We've been in a confirmed 1 hour bull channel. Now, looking at price action today, the 1 minute chart, okay, went for the high of the day and then has a small retrace off of a divergence. We can look at that another time, and has rolled over the ones and stayed in sideways consolidation essentially for most of the day. It's been quiet today really in terms of price action. But what price did do, as the 1 hour chart created some resistance, the 5 minute price came into the support and has tested the 5 minute support. So we've got 1 minute rollover, creating some short-term resistance, which has pushed the price into the 5 minute support, and it's found a bottom here today off of the 15 minute support channel. Yeah, so we've got a bull channel here, 15-minute bull channel, but the reason it's testing it, it's not as strong as it has been. The 50 is pinching into the 200. As you know, when it's not a strong, clear bull channel in terms of support, once the MAs start to pinch together, price has a better chance of pushing through. However, supporting the 15-min support channel, albeit a little bit susceptible to breakdown, right behind it is the 1 hour support channel. So we're looking at a test at the moment of a 1 hour support channel. So looking into tomorrow, what I'll be looking at is price to roll into and test more deeply into the 1 hour channel. We're going to need, this is for downside obviously, we're going to need the 15 min to confirm as resistance and roll over, and give the price the power in terms of a newly formed bear channel to look for a deeper support. These are my two support markers here. So as it stands, we're at sort of 7435. Now obviously this is time sensitive, so there's a possibility if the 15 mins roll, you might look for a support meet in the middle here at approximately 440, 445. So I'll be looking at potential first support at 445, 7445. If that decides, if the 15-minute chart does create a bear channel and pushes into that first level of support, if this is still showing some strength and there's momentum on the oscillators, which we'll go into another time, then I'm looking at the next level of support being the 200 MA on the 1 hour, which sits at 7395, give or take. Now obviously again that's time sensitive, so that would probably creep up, I would say probably around the 405 mark, which would coincide with this inflection point here. Okay, so I'd be looking at first support 100 MA 1 hour to probably sit at around this high at around 445, 7445, and then as time goes on, the 200 would probably sit around this inflection point here. I would estimate it to be around 405-ish, maybe 410 for support markers, if we get the confirmation of a bear channel, the 15 minutes rolling over to create some resistance that should help price look for some support. Now obviously if there's still momentum on the oscillators, that can push into the 1 hour. That's further down the line. It would need then the 1 hour to soften and start to turn. But if price does look for this support area here on the 1 hour chart there, as I've just mentioned, at around that, what I think would be around 405, 7405, then obviously you look up a frame and the 4 hour chart would come into play. And that 200 MA on the 1 hour correlates with the 50 on the 4 hour. So you've still got strong support. So where the 200 MA is on the 1 hour chart, it's got double bubble power because you've got the 50 MA here too on the 4 hour chart, and the numbers add up. You'd be looking at around 405, 7405-ish for the 4 hour channel too. So to break into this, to have any kind of confirmed reversal, you know, I'm talking about a decent meaningful pullback, we would need the 15 minutes to confirm as resistance. We would also need the 1 hour to soften and roll and start to look as if it's confirming as resistance to push into the 4 hour support channel. So for now, I'm going to be looking at what price is doing around these two support markers, okay, for downside, whether you short and follow. If it does roll over, if the 15-minute chart does roll over, if you follow that down as resistance, as potential TPs, or looking at price action on these support levels for a potential long, which essentially would make a new higher low for a potential new higher high. All right, so I'd be looking for short targets to these levels, TP targets, or depending on what other considerations are, what other things are going on in terms of momentum, potential longs from the support channels. But obviously, remember to consider momentum when support markers are being tested. On the upside, excuse me, on the upside, if we look at the daily chart, see, there's not much, well, there isn't any resistance markers on the daily chart. So what I start doing is looking for inflection points. What could potentially be the high, again, if we're talking about downside. See, I see key inflection points in and around where we are now, and then a push potentially into this area here at around 50, 50, 10, 508, 7508, 7510, somewhere around there. If it wanted to make a new push for a higher high. However, I'm looking at the whole setup here on the daily with interest, because if you look at the awesome, we're in a divergent zone on the daily. If you look at the MACD, one could argue it's just about still in divergence territory. But if this could roll over and the histogram could turn negative, that could confirm potentially the start of something meaningful in terms of a pullback. The RSI still isn't giving me any major signal, but the stochastic is technically a divergence. It's pretty much level on the stochastic, whereas you've got the higher high from here. Look, you're actually in a divergent zone. You've got a stochastic divergent zone of the best part of 200 odd, 200 odd, 250 pips. So I'm keeping an eye on price momentum slowdown on the daily. However, it certainly may not be ready yet, as the daily can still run deeper. Divergent zones can last for a while, obviously on the longer frames. So for long positions, if we regain support again on the 5-min chart, sorry, on the 1 minute chart here, price picks up support on the 1 minute chart, and the 5-min whipsaws and price gets picked up and supported again by the 5 min, similar to this, so there'll be a 5 minute bull channel, then essentially what we're doing is creating new low frame support, remembering that we've still got 15 min support, albeit looking slightly weaker at the moment, 15 min support behind it here, and also the 1 hour channel, bull channel still intact, and the 4 hour bull channel still intact. Okay, so its price is either going to retrace, look for some higher frame support, depending on momentum. It will either bounce and create a new higher high, yeah, or price has already tested it, as in today. Low frames will recreate support, and we might look for a higher high from here. So it's about looking at the momentum and what price is doing and how it's behaving around the key markers. We'll look at it again tomorrow. This was just a quick overview of where those markers are, and then we can see what the price is doing around it tomorrow.